Masterpiece has been a mixed bag for me in its entire lifespan. You start with MP01 and go to figures like Megatron and Starscream, which were Megatron and Starscream. Then you get toys like Sideswipe and Prowl, which were great. Then MP10 rocks around and is boasted by many as the best Transformer ever made. And it was steady on for a bit till we started encountering Takara's big shift to this to be quote-unquote Sunbow accurate, like MP36. Things started to change around that time, and then MP Hound, MP44, Bumblebee, Starscream, paint chipping, breakages galore. You got Beast Wars, Megatron, and Dinobot having chipping issues. The Masterpiece name kind of got sour for a lot of people. Not everyone, but quite a number of people looked at them now and go, oh, this looks like a bunch of over-engineered messes that are brittle. And they're kind of right. In my experience with the new MPs, where it be me owning a version of one or messing with them / seeing them at TFCon, it's been meh. So when Skids rocked up, he was such a breath of fresh air. This feels like what Masterpiece used to be, and it's a massive step in the right direction in winning people back to the line, in my opinion. I have heard great things about Nightbird too, and I do plan on getting her at TFCon this year. I'm not buying anything new from now till TFCon, so I'm taking a bit of a break, so I'll wait till then. But Skids has been a lot of fun. He's super solid for the most part, and it's just a fun toy. The reason why I wanted to wait this long to make Skids' video is I wanted to wait for the Legacy one to release so that I could see the similarities between the two. And they are quite similar in a lot of ways. So if you want the MP one but either can't afford it or just don't like how it scales or whatever, then the Legacy one is a very good stand-in. The blue on Skids is on point. It pops so well in any place I put it. The red highlights just help accentuate that blue more. I also like the two-tone nature of the light and slightly less light blue, something I think the Legacy Toys is sorely missing. It's too dark for me, but it doesn't have a clear blue axe. 0 out of 10. The arms are rather skinny and tiny overall, but like I don't mind. I think it looks fine, but I can see it bothering some people. I'm glad it isn't made to look like the freaking cartoon model though, because oh lord, where are those arms coming from? The hips on mine are super floppy though, and that's a tad bit annoying. I'm also not the only person to have this issue. I've seen a couple of comments on my Legacy video stating that their MP Skids toys were loose at the hips too. That's the only spot though where I have issues with the joints, because everything else feels super solid and super fluid to move. You do get his guns and they can peg into the top or side of the arms, which is nice, but Reboost comes with more stuff for the same price, so that's a tad bit disappointing. Kinda wish Skids came with like that little Scooter too, or hell, even a little Charlene to wash him, like that one comic panel that's strange. People will also be happy to know that Skids has a very clean back. MP toys have been known in recent years to have either very messy backs or backs that are just big and chunky, but here, Skids is clean as a whistle. Everything is just engineered so well enough to get out of the way of other things and make the whole transformation super tidy. It's just a nice, clean, solid robot that is only let down by those loose hips for me. Otherwise, I friggin' love it. Posing is top tier too. The head feels a tad bit annoying because the transformation hinge it's on. It reminds me a lot of Armada Red Alert. The hips are ratcheted forward and back, but not in and out, which would have been nice because it would have fixed the one issue I had. But the feet have a wide range of movement outside of an ankle swivel, and they're just a really solid base to keep the toy standing. Transformation is extremely simple, but the arms, they can get very fiddly trying to fit them into their little spots. Rotating and shoving them in at the same time can get really annoying, and you find that the hands catch on other parts of the hood and the torso section, but the rest of the thing is really satisfying to do. I really enjoy compressing the feet. That is super satisfying. Just to fold some things up and go click, and it just goes right into its spot and stays there. It's a really nice feeling. I really hate getting those arms in place though. They almost turn me off transforming this thing half the time because it's just so much of a hassle, especially my figure's right arm. I love this alt mode though. I've said it before, I want one of these cars in real life. It looks so dinky, I love it. It's a licensed Honda City Turbo and it works so well. I do really hate the front underkibble though. The arms leave behind this mess. It's a small complaint in comparison to my praise of the toy, but it's a complaint. You do have opening doors that don't make the robot look like ass. I love that. And an opening trunk / boot, whatever you want to call it, that you can store the weapons in and also doesn't compromise the robot mode. That's awesome. It's also like millimeters bigger than the Legacy one. It's a great size, and I'm super happy with it. And this one also has side view mirrors, so 10 out of 10. The lines are also painted very cleanly, and the front and back paint is super sharp and very well picked out. I especially like the Honda logos all over this thing. They look super authentic and realistic. It's just pleasing to look at. Like, everything's picked out so well that it's just nice visually. Yeah. This thing also compacts very well and mass shifts like no tomorrow, but that is in no way a bad thing. It's supposed to, and it does it correctly, and I like that because this car is very small in real life. This toy just ends up being very good, and if Nightbird is anything to go by, I have some small hope that the new direction of Masterpiece is going to be decent at least and good at best. The new MPG toys look pretty snazzy too, but I'll talk about those more once I get them because I've pre-ordered both. I definitely do recommend getting this guy though, because the other good thing about this is that he is not expensive. It's about 70 Canadian dollars ish, 70 to 80 Canadian dollars for this thing. That's cheap for a Masterpiece toy of this day and age. That alone makes it fully worth it, even if it had some small transformation issues. But as it stands now, it is totally worth its value. I think this is a great value for money, and I definitely recommend getting this guy. I got this at ages 3 and up, not sponsored, but I'll leave a link in the description below so you can pick it up there. But yeah, that's been my look at Masterpiece. I almost said Masterpiece movie. Masterpiece Skids. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.